he will announce, then we will sign.
Because I park wrong now, they take my car.
I will.
What, you give me new car?
Yeah, I will give. How much fine I will pay?
Rose Raj my car.
Yeah,
Give
I
me
will.
new car,
I will.
they'll
I
take
will.
it.
No problem.
يلا
Promise.
يلا ساعة.
No, not yet. Just he will announce first. That's all. Yeah, right. Sure. Announce kar do.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to the 10th Aspire Investment Summit. As most of our friends know, that these investment summits are a monthly feature here at Aspire World Investments. And what we do here is we share knowledge, we share our experiences, we work with our partners from across the globe, we promote new ideas, we discuss new opportunities, and we also conclude our working month and also share the progress on our hallmark Aspire Industrial Parks developments. Today, before we formally proceed to the evening, I'm very happy and honored to announce that Aspire World Investments is entering into a business relationship with the Emirates Zone based in Abu Dhabi, and it's a great honor for all of us having His Excellency Mr. Sanad Al Maghbali with us. He is chairman of Emirates Zone and member board of directors for Abu Dhabi Chamber of Commerce. So we'll just have a formal signing ceremony, and let's wish Aspire World Investments and Emirates Zone a very good luck and a very prosperous business relationship ahead. Thank you. It's a great honor, and I wish that this partnership prevails for a long time, and it's mutually beneficial for all of us. His Excellency has an urgent commitment, so he has to leave. A little about Emirates Zone. Emirates Zone is a company incorporated in Abu Dhabi for quite a long time, and they are the specialists in connecting businesses, making business in the Emirate of Abu Dhabi and in UAE possible, with all kinds of support, starting from the incorporation, setting up, and all the facilities and the B2B connectivity in which Emirates Zone specializes. And we welcome companies from abroad who are seeking to work in United Arab Emirates and to benefit from the congenial economic environment that the leadership has provided us here. Emirates Zone is here at the forefront and available for any business, any company, any entity looking UAE as a market or wanting to promote their products and services in this region. And Aspire World Investments, you all know we are an investment management company. So this relationship, this business relationship is eventually going to or designed to benefit our partners and our friends from across the globe who are looking for the UAE market or looking for establishing their footprints in the UAE. So we wish very good luck, and we hope that this relationship is beneficial for all of us.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and a very warm welcome to 10th Aspire Investment Summit. You just witnessed our signing ceremony. Unfortunately, His Excellency Mr. Sanad Al-Maghbali had to leave, so we had to reschedule a little bit. Now, formally starting with our today's session, as you know, Aspire World Investments is a cohesive investment group based in Dubai. We are primarily an investment management company coming out of a business group having more than 21 years of track record in diversified businesses ranging from general trading, ranging from education, IT, healthcare, media, security services, bulletproofing, food processing, and it indicates our ideology of diversity. Not putting all your eggs in one basket. And our president, I know it's going to come, but it's and you will see that this ideology worked well for us for the last 2 decades. And this is exactly what we need now. This is exactly where when we're looking at the future and we are looking at, as my friend Simon says, the boom and bust cycle in the world. Balancing the investment portfolio is something which is of a paramount importance. And here at Aspire World Investments, we believe that the art of balancing the investment portfolio is key to the success of any investment conglomerate or the group. Now, the theme of today's evening is the cognitive era. A few of my friends were asking that, what do you actually mean by the cognitive era? Well, we are not talking about the future here. We are in the cognitive era. We have seen phenomenal, monumental, exemplary growth of the businesses that we didn't hear a decade ago. We knew nothing about such businesses that they would exist in next 10 years, 12 years, 15 years to come. Things are getting smarter, intelligent, agile, responsive. We are living in the world where we see the sixth sense robotics becoming a possibility. And we are very fortunate to live in a country where we just unveiled a government policy on IoT. And we also saw His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid, the Vice President of UAE and Prime Minister and the ruler of Dubai, unveiling and the initiative to train 1 million coders in programming. So we are already in the cognitive era. We have seen the blockchain being adopted and received well. So it tells all of us that we are becoming more futuristic, we are becoming more active, we are becoming more, should I say, wiser, intelligent. And being an investment management company, we welcome that. We welcome to be part of the change. We welcome to be part of the cognitive era. And Aspire World Investments has always done that. So today, in this evening, you will see the presentations. You will see what our friends have for you related to the theme. And we'll also share what we are going to do. Our friends who know us for quite some time, they know about this hallmark initiative of Aspire, which I'm going to discuss today. It is Aspire Investment Parks. Now, this is an industrial infrastructure development in the private sector inside Pakistan along China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. We announced it somewhere in the beginning of this year. And then, since then, the concept has been evolving, refining itself. And our president will share the progress with you today. We are very proud to be absolutely ready to take up the challenges related to the cognitive era. So I'll just elaborate a little bit about who we are and what we do. Aspire World Investments, as you can see, is part of the Nexel Group. We are a 20 years old business group based in Pakistan. And we are diversified, starting from investment management, manufacturing, education, technical training, vocational training to be precise, media, IT, security services, agriculture, shipping, aviation, logistics, financial services, general trading, human assets management, health services, management, consulting, and social sectors. And today, this evening, I'm also having the honor to announce the inauguration of Aspire News.tv. It is an internet protocol-based television channel. Again, an initiative from Aspire World Investments to catalyze change and intellectual development and the knowledge sharing for the sake of sustainable and a futuristic economy. Secondly, I would also like to take this opportunity to announce that one of the group entities of the Aspire World Investments, the Magaline Events Management, has now introduced yet another division of marketing management. It specially serves our friends from across the globe who are looking at introducing their products and services into Emirat to be peculiar and GCC countries in general. We felt the need that our friends from abroad need to come up with the marketing strategies and the marketing management services that are acclimatized to the business environment in this region. So Magaline Marketing is a welcome step again from our president, and you'll know more about it in the time to come. This signing ceremony you just witnessed was part of the same initiative. We want to work with our local partners here. We want to work with the notable brands in this region with the view to facilitate our partners, our associates, and our friends from across the globe who seek the Middle East markets, the GCC markets, and UAE market to be peculiar. So about the Aspire Investment Park, I'll just quickly, but before that, our track record from 1998 until 2015 and the next 2 years, it's all documented, visible. The good thing about our group is that all growth you see is 100% organic. And we are very blessed with the friendships as we cherish and the partnerships from across the globe. They made this growth possible. I think let's move ahead. Well, as part of our investment strategy, we are working on infrastructure development in JV environments. We are also developing specialized economic zones, industrial zones to be precise, in 56 locations across China-Pakistan Economic Corridor inside Pakistan. And then you'll see the components as well. Shall we move on? We were also very happy to announce the Aspire Business Hub in Dubai. The Aspire Business Hub is actually to capitalize upon the connectivity and the business environment which United Arab Emirates offers. This east and west connectivity from across the globe, facilitating companies from across the world to establish their footprints here. And it also facilitates direct business development. Marketing management has recently been added through media and through very precise B2B networking. These are the components of the Aspire Industrial Parks. As you can see, our focus in the industrial parks is not just developing industrial sector or the localized industries. It is a very comprehensive concept, combining industrial, commercial, vocational, leisure, residential, and tourism aspects together. So it's an idea which our country has not seen yet. So we are very proud to be working on the ideas that are going to be working for us for the future, for the sake of the future. You can see it, the industrial parks will have, the investment parks will have multi-facility economic zones. They will house high-tech industries, local resource industries, commercial offices, storage facilities, showrooms, trade center, transportation hub, residential accommodation, academic and training facilities, hotels, restaurants and malls, and also we recently signed on the serviced apartments, providing our friends who are working with us from abroad, especially then sports and leisure facilities and so on. So it's a multi-facility combination of different facilities in one investment park. So these are the districts we're going to be benefiting in next 5 years to come. Our first location will be announced very soon. These days we are working with our partners from within Pakistan on the land acquisition and technical feasibilities and stuff. Yeah, I think I'll leave my, try to cut short my speech here. And this is the time to invite my friend, my old friend, a visionary leader, and the president of Aspire World Investments, Dr. Munir Ahmed, to please come and have the presidential address.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome to our 10th Aspire Investment Summit. As you know that Aspire World Investments is a distinctively finest cohesive investment group owing to its unparalleled perfectionism, unprecedented yield, certainty and out of the box resolution for sustainable economy. We are developing smart industrial infrastructure supporting the innovative projects, helping sustainable growth and working with new ideas to shape the future economy. We keep inclusive growth as our business ideals and shape our endeavor with the same mindset. As you know, AWI hosts monthly investment summit. This very purpose of these summits is to share knowledge, experiences, and opportunities. This whole idea is to encourage business relationship and promote our partners. Today is the 10th Aspire Investment Summit on the theme of the cognitive era. In my opinion, our lives and the world around us is experiencing change. The humans of today, we are more knowledgeable, versatile, intelligent, and futuristic. This futuristic mindset is doing wonders in the field of architecture, finance, healthcare, information technology, automobiles, robotics, space and upper emphasis, and almost in every other area that economic or life. The way I foresee the future will belong to those who aspire to shape the future by actually investing in the future. As part of our group strategy for the cognitive era, we are investing in the future together with our friends. Our investment include Aspire Industrial Parks in Pakistan along China-Pakistan Economic Corridor. These mixed-use infrastructure development include specialized industrial zones, high-tech zone, commercial office spaces, business hub, innovation center, staff accommodation, profession training center, SERS apartment, power plant and recycling facilities. We plan to invest $330 million into our first Aspire Investment Park with a view to build a showcase It is an iconic industrial infrastructure project. I had announced our first Aspire Industrial Parks during our second investment summit in February 2017 at Dubai World Trade Center. Today I am very happy to inform you that we completed our initial survey in a record time. We have already started the land acquisition process and we are now working on the master planning and technical feasibilities. I am confident that with the ongoing support of our friends, especially the Carlton James Group, we will complete this iconic project not later than by the end of 2020. We are also investing into Aspire Business Hub in Dubai with a view to serve our friends who aspire to reach the MENA markets. The Business Hub is designed to afford maximum advantage in minimal cost. Being part of Business Hub saves your operating cost and reduce your marketing budget. Not only that, it also helps ensure business growth within minimal marketing penetration time. If you wish to enjoy the benefits of inclusive growth, you are welcome to join Aspire Business Hub. Today, at the very special day, we are going to introduce our friends from Carlton James Group. Most of you know that Carlton James is a UK-based global investment group headquartered in UK and operating from UK, USA, BVI, Cameron, Iceland and Dubai. AWI feels honored to have them as our friends, partners and members of the Aspire Business Hub. We have been working together since January to introduce and promote an amazing investment products that is truly a futuristic idea and need of the hour. Ladies and gentlemen, let me have the honor to invite Mr. John Clifton, the Director of Sales and Carlton James Group, to share his views and enlighten us about the Carlton James Diversified Alpha Fund. I always say that AWI is a platform. For everyone who is able to imagine. You just have to aspire and we will help you shape the reality. AWI is all yours. And I'm really thankful to you, different people, our friends, partners who specially arrived from the different part of the globe. Thank you, welcome.
Assalamu alaikum. Good evening. My name is John Gilfillan, Global Sales Director at Carlton James Group. It's an honour to be here with you this evening. You're probably looking at this first slide and wondering, what are these guys doing? What are we thinking about? If I can just ask you to take a moment by looking at this first page, what comes to mind? What do people think? Do they think of eggs and think of healthy breakfast? Do they think of a healthy chicken laying a lot of eggs? Or do they think of something else? And what we actually want to talk about this evening is diversification. You may have heard of, is there somebody at the back that wants to? It could be not putting all your eggs in one basket. There you go. There you go. Prize to the gentleman on the right. Well done. Next page, Umar. That's absolutely right, sir. We believe there is a right way to approach investing and there is a wrong way. We believe the right way to approach investing is to diversify your investment portfolio by not putting all of your eggs in one basket, by essentially looking at different opportunities and allocating capital to those opportunities. So the moral of the story is clearly don't put all your eggs in one basket. The importance of diversification. Next slide. I'd just like to talk a little bit about what we actually mean by diversification and some of the benefits. I think if we put all of our money into, say, property, and the property market suffers and prices go down, then the investor is entirely exposed to the property market, and a lot of risk is attached to that. So our approach to things is to put your money into different asset classes, either property, either equities, either debt, either commodity trading, cash. Just spread the risk across a number of different investment opportunities. In terms of the second point on the slide, terms of investment, that could mean from investing in the short term, you buy something today, you sell it tomorrow, or you could invest for 1 year, for 2 years, for 5 years, for 10 years. It's important to have a mix of different lengths of investment, and that's what we mean by terms of investment. In terms of geography, instead of investing all of your capital into one country, or indeed one continent, you could spread it around the world. You can put money to work in America, in Europe, in the Middle East, in Asia, but it's important to get a good spread of different geographies. It kind of goes hand in hand with the next point on the slide, jurisdictions. It's also important to have exposure to different legal jurisdictions around the world as well. In terms of revenue flow, what we mean by that is if you invest in young companies and startup companies, typically they won't have much revenue coming in the way of cash flow. They're still trying to prove themselves. So you can either invest in a company that just has a concept, or you can invest in companies that are already generating billions of dollars of revenue, such as Apple or Vodafone or BP. The key point, though, is to invest in a whole range of different types of companies at different stages of their investment. And in terms of liquidity, I kind of touched on it before. If you might need your capital back in 1 week, 3 months, 6 months, then there's no point investing in something that you can't sell for 1 year or 2 years. If you're buying equities, you can sell them tomorrow. If you're buying property, it may take a bit longer to sell that asset. So the important point here is to diversify the types of assets according to liquidity requirements as well. Just a few of the benefits of diversification. By diversifying your investment portfolio, you are reducing your risk to a single asset class. If you just invest entirely in property, you're exposed to the property market. I think diversification is clearly useful in times of economic uncertainty, and according to many experts, economic uncertainty is where we are right now. Diversification will also reduce the overall volatility of the returns in your portfolio, and it will also reduce the overall level of risk. So I think the key message from this page is very much capital preservation through diversification. Next slide, please. This is what we've got for you this evening. The Carlton James Diversified Alpha Fund. We're very much, how we approach our investments, diversification is at the heart of what we do. The Diversified Alpha Fund is a Cayman-regulated mutual fund. There are various asset classes within the fund. So if an investor invests in the mutual fund, we will spread that capital across a number of different asset classes on their behalf. We'll invest it in commercial real estate, we'll invest it in commodity trading, we'll invest it in equity, we'll invest it in cash, and we'll invest it in other debt-based products. So we will do the diversification for the investor. The fund, which was only launched 2 weeks ago, will have an expected net dividend of 8% per annum, which will be paid on a quarterly basis. So it'll be around 2% every quarter paid to investors. We have 2 share classes, a US dollar share class and a sterling share class, and the minimum initial subscription is $20,000 US or 15,000 sterling. You'll be pleased to hear there is no maximum on how much you can invest. Next slide. I think it's important to know, if you are to invest in the fund, it's important to know a little bit about the company behind the fund, who are Carlton James Global Management. We are based in Royal Wootton Bassett, which is about 70 miles west of London in England. We're part of the Carlton James Group, and Simon Carlton is here this evening, and we'll say a few words after I've finished. The group was actually founded in 2012. We have a small team of 15 people located around the world, primarily in the UK, but we do have people working in the US, in Turkey, in Ireland, and here in the UAE. We already have a diverse investor base. We have high net worth investors, ultra high net worth investors, pension schemes, and corporate investors. And in our history, we've always delivered positive returns. In fact, on average, we've delivered 13.39% on an annualized basis, without leverage, and after all fees. Next page. These are some of the key people involved, and I recognize people sitting at the back may not be able to see the small print. But I think what I'd like to point out here is there is probably a combined 150 years of experience amongst these 5 people. We have Simon Carlton, who's been in financial services for over 15 years. And his first colleague was Ryan Whitefield, who's been a construction and real estate specialist for over 20 years. Tony Moore, who's the chairman of the group. Tony started working before I was even born. So he's been working for many, many decades. And he co-founded Goldman Sachs' office in Hong Kong and Japan, and he was their first man on the ground in the 1980s. And he's been involved in very many high-profile deals. We also have Joe Kelly, who operates out of Ireland. Joe used to work for Citigroup. He used to be an equity broker at Citigroup, and he's managed money for many Swiss hedge funds as well. And you may recognize the gentleman on the left, bottom left here, Dr. Umair Mahmood, who is our representative here in the UAE. Just want to share with you a little bit about our modus operandi, how we actually work. A number of the ideas that come to us, the investment opportunities, either come to us directly or are referred to us through our partner network. I mentioned to you some of the key people there. All of them are located in individual countries around the world. Once an investment opportunity comes into us, we research it in-house primarily, but we have started an arrangement with Dun & Bradstreet in Dubai. We look at each investment. We consider a number of metrics when we're looking at each investment. We want to know how much diversification it will add to the portfolio. We want to know if capital protection is offered. We want to know what sort of return the investors can expect if we make that investment. We want to know what level of risk it adds to the portfolio. We want to know what our possible exit strategies might be. Now, that might sound a strange thing to consider. At the time we are looking to make the investment, we are already looking or thinking about how we might exit that investment in 1, 2, 3 years' time. So I think it's important to know how you might get out of your investment once you've made it. And we also consider how much value each investment will add to the portfolio. When necessary, we will also seek board representation. We will look to place a non-executive director on the board of the company that we've invested in. That way we're very close to the action, and we can see what's going on at company level. Next slide, please. Just a few words on why we think it's a very good opportunity to invest at this moment in time. I think if you go back to the last financial crisis in 2007, 2008, I think we're all familiar with what happened to the banks. Banks started to very much repair their own balance sheet. They started looking internally. They weren't very interested in lending to the economy, and clearly that has an impact. If you happen to be in real estate and you want to start a development project, but the bank won't lend you money, you can't start the project. If you're halfway through a real estate development and the bank stops lending, you can't complete the project. If you're an operating company and you want to expand your business and create jobs, you're going to need capital. And if banks aren't willing to lend, you can't expand. And the last point on the slide there is to do with innovation. Innovation is often found amongst smaller companies. And again, smaller companies very much need capital. And if they can't get capital, innovation ceases to happen. So I think the message from that part of the slide is, as an investor, the need for you to be flexible has increased. You need to be more flexible than ever before in order to get an investment done. I think just a couple of other points to finish off this slide. I come back to the banks. They've been operating in a world of increased regulation, and that continues to be the case. So banks, I wouldn't be depending on banks to continue to lend to companies going forward, certainly not in the short term. And I think from an investor point of view, we are operating and we are living in a world where interest rates are very low. So if you invest your money in a bank, the amount of return the bank will give you is very low. Through the Diversified Alpha Fund, we're expecting a net dividend of 8% to investors, so significantly higher than cash. One of the other things we believe in at Carlton James is the importance of cycles. Nothing that is happening today hasn't already happened in history. And I've just picked the last 30 years to demonstrate this point. If you go back to 1987, some stock markets around the world crashed by over 20% in one day. If you then jump forward to 1997, Asian currencies all devalued in one single day, July the 1st, 1997. Then jump forward 10 years to 2007, global financial crisis begins. Jump forward 10 years to where we are now, 2017. We don't know what's going to happen, but something will happen at some stage because it always does. Business and life is one big cycle. And I think if you just look at where we are now, the American stock markets, the British stock markets, they're at all near-time highs. They're all trading at a record high at the moment. If you look at Japan, stocks are trading at a 20-year peak. If you look at copper, that's trading at a 3-year high. Palladium's trading at a 16-year high. Bond prices are still at elevated levels. I often hear about Dubai property prices and people tell me they're at a peak. I don't know if that's true. Not to mention oil volatility. I think we've all seen what's happened with prices in recent years. So there's plenty of risks out there. And I guess this comes back to the key message that we've been talking about, the importance of diversification. Capital preservation through diversification is very much the Carlton James approach. Next slide, please. So in conclusion, as if it's not already obvious, I think diversification is key to investing and to managing risk. The Diversified Alpha Fund has core components to it, which is the commercial real estate and debt holdings. And there's also the opportunity through the alpha piece of the portfolio for some significant upside on our investments. We're expecting to pay a net dividend of 8% per annum, which will be paid on a quarterly basis. We have a track record of positive returns, just under 13.5% every year. And I think the key point here is asset growth requires patience. Investing requires patience. It doesn't happen overnight. It doesn't happen over 1 week or 1 year. Sometimes it can take many years for your investment to come to fruition. And I think you can see from the graphic on the slide there, the egg hatches and it grows into an adult chick over time. And again, this comes back to the importance of cycles as well. So we see our Diversified Alpha Fund as being a solution-based investment. You invest into the fund, and we will diversify your investment across many different asset classes and deliver a positive return. And why we are here in Abu Dhabi tonight, we're happy to talk to people who may want to invest in the fund or people who may know people who might want to invest in the fund. So we're very much in seeking capital mode at the moment. So feel free to contact Dr. Umair and I'll be happy to talk to you later on. Many thanks for your time.
Well, we'll be handing out they always make me use this, but I don't actually need it. But we'll be handing out these Alpha Fund fact sheets a bit later on. Please take a look at them and come back to us with any questions you have. I just wanted to say just a couple of words in regard to our ethos, which you clearly know now is the diversification rule, which is something that's made us profitable over the years, saved us over the years. If you look at anything we've ever done, it's always been some form of diversification, which has made us come out of that investment on a positive, or at least not on a negative for our investors. Whether that be diversifying the exit strategies, because year one of your investment, your exit strategy is X. By year 3 or 4, when the economic climate may change, your exit strategy is now Y. All we do is we prepare for Y right from the outset. So we say, okay, well, let's just assume that that's going to happen, and Y is going to be our exit. And anything better than that means that we're more profitable. Which means when we talk about this 8% per annum, which is something that John talks about in his presentation, be aware that we are aiming way and above that. You know, we've had years of 27.5% return before. But again, all of our expectations are based on the bust cycle. They're based on this is what's going to happen. So if it hits the fan and if things go wrong, 8% is what we're aiming for. Anything better than that is a bonus, but it's a bonus that we believe we will be getting. And we've seen it before, time and time again. That every single person in here, I'm not sure how many countries we've got representation from here. I know a few. Each one of you has seen something in the past, and I say this every time. Each one of you has seen some kind of significant downturn. And probably, most probably, each one of you has made a decision which has been incorrect, ill-informed, or not, or actually you've had something happen to you with an investment which has been completely out of your control. What we look to do is to kind of take that control back by diversifying. You know, we hold when we need to hold. We sell when the market's good. We buy when the market's tough. And these are the things you should be doing. And it's something it's very, very difficult to do with small amounts of cash. And what we do is we say to you, you bring your cash together with us, and you kind of jump on our bandwagon, really. That's why we founded the Carlton James Group. That's why we are where we are now with the diversification and the diversified alpha fund. That's why our platform will continue to grow. Our FX product made 97% last year. Our tech company that we invested in through equity holdings increased by 10 times in 1 year. We made 27.5% 1 year on our real estate investment. We made 12% another. So we're sat here coming to you and saying 8% works. But anything more than that, and you get to share in our good fortune. So ask some questions, come back to us, come and see us. You know, even if you've got questions about a development, a product, a structure, a company, a startup, anything you need assistance with, we have the platform for it. We have opportunity for that. You know, you come and see us and we can help you with pretty much anything when it comes to investment or development of a company.
Are you into cryptocurrency or looking into cryptocurrency also?
Cryptocurrency is actually part of our commodity structure, so yeah, of course. We'd be silly not to at this point, you know. I mean, that's. I wish I'd got into it in 2010. You know, our funds would be a lot bigger now. Yeah, cryptocurrency is probably something that we will separate as a separate product at some point down the line. We currently have it as part of our commodity tradability, and I think when it comes to cryptocurrencies, you have to treat it as a commodity rather than a currency, really. So think of it as gold. I like to think of it as that. And so yes, definitely, it's something we will invest in. And again, when you look at our PPMs, our SPPMs, our investment memorandums, anything you look at, it pretty much keeps us open, because what you see now is within our structure is not what it will be in a year's time, what it will be in 2 years' time, 3 years' time. And that's the beauty of our company. The beauty of our company is we bring in experts every single time. Generally, if we're going to invest in an area, we will have an in-house technical expert and we'll have an external technical expert. And these experts are top of their game. We generally bring them in, an investment committee comes on board for that particular strategy. And then what my job is, and the job of the founders really of the company, is to come in and say, right, okay, let's take out the excitement, let's strip back this opportunity. And where is the opportunity within that opportunity? Where is the diversification within the very specific of that particular opportunity? Let's take away your expert advice and let's look at this and say, if the world goes wrong, what happens with that investment if the world goes wrong? And we take the technical advice, and we take our background, and we say, even if it goes wrong, we can come out of that with a profit. And if that's the case, then we move ahead. Which means that we're completely diverse. Our structure moves with the marketplace, you know, and we watch the economic domino effect that happens across the world. And we'll all see it again, and it will come. It'll come soon, I'm sure. You know, I predict probably more like 2019, but then putting a date on it when I'm being recorded is probably a stupid idea, but there you go. But we are going to see something. So why not hedge your bets? Why not invest in what you're looking to do, but also put some of your money into a company that's there to protect you from these kind of changes? So if your development fails, if you've got 10 million and you want to put 8 million into this development that is your lifeline, what happens if you have to hold that? What happens if you have to hold that development because the economy has changed? Wouldn't it be good to be able to put 2 million into a product that will actually continue to earn good money during that period whilst you can hold your development, rather than putting the whole 10 million into that development and then you can't hold it because you need the money to survive, you need the money to pay your team, which means you then have to sell. Which means that when you sell an investment, that is when you make your loss. Until then, you've not made a loss. Holding is the key, and if you can do that by diversifying, that's when you're able to come out on top. So you know, if you want help with that, if you want to come on board with us, by all means do so. We are here to help. Thanks very much.
Why is it important to diversify in terms of liquidity? Like, it's clear, like, why we should diversify in terms of location or industries, but why diversification in terms of liquidity is important?
Well, it's not so much diversification in terms of liquidity. It's in terms of liquidity versus capital protection. You know, you need to have a bit of both, especially when you have investors, because, you know, you may need your money. You may need some money. It's like I just said then, the point of that structure where I said put some money here and put some money into our fund is because you are protecting yourself against each. You have your own goals, but then you also have a protection like that. And it's the same with liquidity. Having a liquid part of your fund is important. And if you take what a lot of the platforms that we deal with in the UK and overseas now are talking about, they want fully liquid because they're so scared of not being able to pay clients. And what we do is we do a fine balance between having enough liquidity to make sure the majority of our clients can be paid if they need to be paid out, because not all clients will need to be paid out, because not all clients will require their funds. And having this capital protection, which protects you and the liquid part. So you're not diversifying the liquidity really. I think that's what you're trying to
But you know, some industries are not liquid by nature. Like,
No, and that's fine. But what you have to do is what we do is we balance that out. So, for instance, our commercial real estate side is not liquid at all. You know, that is the epitome of not liquid. But that's a core component of our plan. But what we do is we weigh that up with a liquid portion of our product. So yeah, no, you're right. It's the opportunities. You shouldn't see everything with blinkers, and that's something that we don't do. And that's the difference between us and many other funds. We have rules that we abide by, but those rules are based on, mostly on diversification. So we need diversification in the exit strategy. We need diversification in the capital appreciation, diversification in the opportunity itself, in the protection. That's really the crux of it, and I'm sorry to keep saying the word diversification, but that's pretty much if you look at our rules, you know, our rules of the road, as you may call them, it's all based on, you know, when we're looking at new opportunities, where the diversification in each part is. So yeah, you're right. Some opportunities are not liquid, and that doesn't stop us from investing in those. But we have a balance within our product. Is that helpful?
Yes, of course.
Oh, good. Okay.
You just said the holding is the key. On what rationale and what basis you consider the holding period?
Holding periods, really, the holding period comes just before the buying period. And what I mean by that is, a lot of the time, the holding period, the mistake that's made is the holding period comes before the selling period. Because you hold, let's say the economy changes and you have an asset, and let's say it's a real estate asset, maybe, nice and easy for us to discuss. It's an easy concept. Real estate is very similar across the world. So we have this asset, we're doing well, it's going to be really well for us, we're going to build this is what the developer says, we're going to build this, we're going to do this. Something happens in another country, something happens in their own country which is completely out of their control. The economy changes, oh my word. Now this asset is not worth anything, it's dropped in value, and if I build what I was going to build, I'll spend so much more money than it's worth. What do I do? Now, generally what people do is they will hold it for a while they try and figure out what to do, and then eventually sell it because they need to. Because they need to realize some money. Because not only is it put a pinch on that particular development, it's also put a pinch on their lifestyle and the lifestyle of the people that are involved, right? What we do is we diversify that portfolio. So when that happens, well, first of all, we see it happening. We can hold that site because eventually that site will be able to continue being developed. It will actually come into fruition. So we would hold that site in that point. Tell the developer, hold that site for now and start focusing somewhere else. Hold that, not take it from the developer, not sell it. Hold that asset, go elsewhere, invest elsewhere while we hold that, because it's fine. We're holding it because we've diversified our portfolio, or our eggs aren't in that basket. And then when the market starts, we see the market start to come up again, or we see that it's about to, or it's bottoming out, sometimes you get this slightly evil side of the bottom out process, but you normally do well. That's when you buy. You buy the neighbouring sites. Because now the sites are coming up. So because of our diversification, rather than the hold, sell, oh my word, we've lost loads of money, it's hold, don't worry about it, buy, and then see fruition. All of a sudden the fruits of your labour, you don't even have to develop that site now. Because now you've bought every neighbouring site, you've bought all these different sites around there for a really good price, and now the price goes up. And now all of a sudden, you don't even need to develop that. Now you can sell it. It's fine because you've made money around that area. Because you've been able to take that risk factor out of it, and you've been able to secure your investment, hold on to it, invest elsewhere, keep making your money, and then come back to it when you're ready, because that cycle will continue again. Every single time everyone's running around with their heads off, you know, headless chicken running about, my God, it's 2008, economic crisis, the world's going to win. You know, it happens every time, you know, and media gets a hold of it, and it becomes an event, do you know what I mean? It becomes a day now, and what we do is we're trying to avoid that, really, just avoid it. Why do it? Why not just assume it's coming, and then you're okay?
Right.
Is that all right? Yes. Sorry.
Is that include video so that explains?
Oh yeah, we have the video. Yeah, he's playing the video for us, and I'll sit down and shut up. Thank you.
Just dwells upon the discussion which we just had, and
suffered one of the worst global economic crises in history. With no fail-safe options in place, and after years of overconfidence, the banking sector crumbled. This wasn't the first time such events have happened, and it won't be the last. The heavy cost of the banking sector's overconfidence and subsequent difficulty forced lending institutions to toughen their lending protocols, leaving many companies, developers, and everyday investors with fewer vehicles to fund their endeavors. This marked the tipping point in this most recent boom and bust cycle. As that cycle begins again, many investment groups and lending firms are not proactively preparing for the next global economic bust, leaving their investors and borrowers at risk. The Carlton James Group has a different approach. Formed in one of the worst bust eras of our lifetime, the group has been able to secure unprecedented returns in the face of a receding global economy. The group's success stems from its key principles: to protect investments by preparing for the next global crisis, and by looking for multiple opportunities within every opportunity, as well as securing multiple exit strategies to aid this investment protection. Diversification is crucial to the success of any portfolio, and Carlton James takes on that responsibility on behalf of their many investors. The Carlton James strategy utilizes diversification within asset classes, terms, location, and jurisdictional considerations to effectively manage cash-flowing assets. Simultaneously, the investment criteria seek assets that represent true added value and the potential for high growth. The group utilizes their many years of experience in financing, retirement planning, construction, and the public sector to secure opportunities for the fund in a wide range of industries across the globe to boost the group's growth pattern. With these parameters in place, the Carlton James Group is able to offer the market dynamic products that mitigate risk by securing investment over diversified asset classes and yield high returns without the worry of personal management. Carlton James, the investor's choice.
Well, thank you very much, Simon and John. They had to leave for a meeting, so it's upon me to thank them. Something which I really like about the Carlton James Diversified Alpha Fund is three basic points. One, it is a mutual fund that comes with some sort of capital preservation or a capital protection by, of course, their diversification strategy. Second, a mutual fund that is offering returns which are minimum 8% and they can go higher. Third is a very low entry ticket, $20,000, which enables most of us in this room and our friends who can save perhaps for a rainy day and put some money into a financial product that offers this kind of capital preservation. Well, I'll just move on to the next, a great friend from Cyprus. We know each other for quite a while now, and whenever we look at each other, this is kind of smile you will witness. So this is the time to welcome my brother from Cyprus, Mr. Marios Karaklas, the managing partner at FP Global.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I like to say thank you to Dr. Munir and Dr. Umer, of course, for this beautiful event. And we are more than happy to be with these beautiful family friends, because now we're like a family, of course. I'm happy to be always with you guys, and I feel very, very, very grateful for these events. We learn a lot, and we are a company from Cyprus. We are developers and contractors, 35 years in the market. It's a family company. I like to say a few things which I take some notes from our friend Simon. And I do agree with him. In order to have return of investments, of course, you have to have your eggs not in one basket. I do agree with him, of course. On the other hand, to diversify your investments, of course, is very important. It's very important for the locations. We see crisis in Cyprus, we see crisis in Dubai, we see crisis in London, we see everywhere the crisis. But of course, you have to be very smart to put your egg in the right time, in the right country. And for us as developers, we always choose to put in the properties. Okay, so our company since 2008 is a family company, as I said before. We not only we have great service and an excellent finance strategy, because we always very close to our investors. We build, delivery, and we have the after-sales service. We never leave them alone. We like to play one video for our country, so at least we see what is Cyprus, and then we continue for any conversation. Okay.
What is return on investment? It's the benefit to the investor resulting from an investment. It's how much you get for how much you give. So, how much do you get when you invest in Cyprus? You get a high-potential, dynamically growing economy. You get a modern and attractive tax and legal system. You get high-quality professional services, highly qualified and multilingual personnel. You get location, location, location. But you also get a lot more. A kind of return on your investment that's harder to find in other destinations you might be considering. You get a safe place to relocate yourself, your employees, your business. The crime rate in Cyprus is one of the lowest in the world. A sunny place. Cyprus's Mediterranean climate means you can enjoy almost 300 days of sunshine per year. A diverse place. You can enjoy the beauty of the beach and the serenity of the mountains with just a 30-minute drive. A cultured place. You can enjoy 12,000 years of history through museums, archaeological sites, and religious sites. You can enjoy classical and modern art performances, sports of all sorts, an active lifestyle, and so much more. There is never a dull moment, unless, of course, you simply want to tone it down and relax, which you can also do in a variety of resorts, nature excursions, or small picturesque villages. You get a country that's great for kids and families. There are more than 90 high-level international schools, a plethora of parks, playgrounds, and year-round family events. Perhaps you thought you couldn't have the best of both worlds. In Cyprus, you can. A country that's exceptional for business and ideal for living. A country where your real return on investment lies not only in numbers, but also in the quality of life that you, your family, and business associates will enjoy. Your investment will yield long-term business returns and unique personal rewards. It's time to redefine your return on investment. It's time to invest in Cyprus.
Well, after we see this video, I want to mention a few things. Why Cyprus economy is the faster growth economy in Europe today. Cyprus, we managed to exit the strategy of the crisis 2 years earlier than any other European country. The reason is because, of course, the Cypriot we see we are very hard workers as a nationality, right? And our government managed to have 2 immigration very beautiful programs. The one program is the permanent residency, which allowed the family, when they invest in Cyprus 300,000 euro, you are allowed to have a house is worth 300,000 euro, as I mentioned before, and husband, wife, children, the father and mother of the husband, the same for the wife. The whole family, they are allowed to have a European visa. This attracts a lot of investors from abroad because, as I mentioned, it's a lifetime visa. You have also benefits as free education, very important for many families. And also, we have the passport investment. The passport investment is 2 million euro. You don't need to donate the money to the government. You can have one house which is worth €500,000 euro plus 5% VAT, and the 1.5 million you are investing in the properties. Must be a new investment in order to qualify this application. You are not allowed to buy, for example, resale houses, because the country, they welcome investment and investors from abroad, and they want to grow the economy. The last 2 years, our country, we are more than happy to say we have almost 1,700 new passports. We have a lot of investment going on in Cyprus. We have very big company, Orasco company, Najib Sawiri. He's doing one of the biggest marina in Europe today in Cyprus. We have many hotels which we didn't have before. Our tourism money was 3 million tourists per year. Now we have 6.5 million this year. Very important. It means this country really improved something. That's why the people, they want to go in Cyprus. Our legal system is under British law. We will allow later Mr. Kouzalis, our lawyer, to talk about it. And we have also a very attractive taxation system. It's the lowest in Europe today. It's 12.5%. So many of the investors, during the crisis when they lost a lot of money, they never closed their company from Cyprus because of the low taxation system. So I want to play one video for one of our projects. We are doing this year, 60 million euro project. It's a hotel, mixed development with an apartments and villas, freehold.
Welcome to our world of luxury. Set in one of Cyprus's most sought-after areas, Sun City is a landmark on its own. A destination that excites and delights the senses and offers a lifestyle beyond compare. Sun City is a first-of-a-kind 5-star resort hotel, combined with residences, and accolade awarded thanks to its luxury spa, seafront apartments, and beachfront villas, which offer luxurious residential units for the extravagant lifestyle. For the residential owners, the rich finishes and the direct access to the award-winning beach will be a private world of indulgence. Relax in the project's beachfront setting while enjoying the white, sandy beach. Indulge yourself in 5-star services. Reboost your youth with treatments at the Sun City Spa. unwind while watching the sun blend in with the deep blue sea at the horizon. Immerse yourself in the tranquil azure scene of the Mediterranean Sea. A perfect location for a hotel resort and spa, combined with luxury residences. This is where it all begins. A world of luxury and comfort. A unique combination of 5-star hospitality services will be offered, surrounded by nature and tropical landscaping. Holidaymakers will enjoy the warm, welcoming allure, coupled with the unique hospitality of Cyprus. Morning sea views and romantic nights at the cosmopolitan resort of Agianapa will be a complete package for those who want to drift away from everyday routine. Few meters away from the newly launched Agianapa Marina, the project will be an extravagant landmark for the area, setting new standards to the hospitality and real estate market of Cyprus.
So I invite you to ask any question about the immigration program, why to invest in Cyprus, what is your guarantee if you invest in Cyprus. So I will give you some answers. Someone want to ask?
For European visa, you meant Schengen visa?
Well, Cyprus, we are in Europe, not in Schengen. However, if you apply and you get the European visa of Cyprus, it's going to be very easy for you to have access in any Schengen country. If you have a Schengen visa already, multiple entrants, you can enter Cyprus anytime without any invitation or visa. But the important thing is to know is for lifetime. It's only one country, Cyprus, offer this for lifetime, forever. You can pass to your children, you can give to your father when you're investing as well. So it's very important. Anyone else?
You mean I can transfer my visa to my children and my family? I didn't understand what you
I say, if you are investing in Cyprus today, and you choose to have with 300,000, you are allowed to have or 2 apartments, 150,000 or 150,000. Yes. In order to have the visa, you must make an investment. You don't donate this money to the government. You will have an investment there. You will have a residential house. You are allowed to have or 1 big house or 2 apartments, for example. With this house, you make an application, and the government give you a lifetime visa, and you can pass to your children and even to your parents. Yes.
I think there is I can understand, the way I can understand your question is that you getting the visa and then transferring your visa to your children, right? Yeah. No, when you make an investment, you and your family, including children and parents of the wife, they all qualify for the visa. So it won't be that you getting the visa and sponsoring your kids. You making investment in the real estate and the entire family gets the permanent residence.
Like in Dubai, that we get visa and we sponsor our family.
No, not like that.
No, it's not like Dubai. Dubai, you sponsor your family. Here, it's totally different thing. You are investing, and as an investor, the whole family, at the same time, you do the application at the same time. The fathers, the children, your father and mother, the whole family. You do one time the visa together, and you are getting the same time, and it's for lifetime. Now your children, when they will make their families, they will have it as well.
What about the passport?
Okay, the passport, of course, is totally different thing. The passport is mean you have the same rights like me. You can vote, you can travel in 158 countries free, you can travel, live, and work in different countries. The residency of Cyprus allows you to have the visa, but not to work as employee in my company. You can open your own company, be the shareholder in the company, and make your business, yes, but not employee in my company. Or you be employee in your company to put a social insurance. The passport is totally different thing. You can live in Cyprus, work in Cyprus. You can live in any other European country as well, because you have the European passport of Cyprus, and you can travel free in 158 countries without request a visa. And this, as I mentioned, is a €2 million investment. You must have a house which is worth €500,000 plus 5% VAT, is your residential house and you cannot sell it. It's going to be always with you. The 1.5, you don't donate to the government. You invest in this money. And it is where we come in. For example, you can make a collaboration with local developer or contractor as a joint venture. You will ask me why. For many reasons, for guarantees, for example. You can have a shares in a company, 100% your shares, 100% our shares, and we make a joint venture for one land. We're investing the €1.5 million, and you ask, what is my guarantee? Your guarantee from the day you send the money, you never send to our account. You send it direct to your account, to your company, okay? You buy the land. You buy the land through to your lawyer. And there is a land register in Cyprus, like the Era, but we are a little different. The same time when you put your money, you get your land in your name at the same day. When you want to develop, you need approximately 3 months to get the building and planning permit. It's very easy, the process in Europe, okay? On the other hand, if you ask me as a contractor, how long you need to build the building which is worth for me 1.5 million, there we come in with a bank guarantee. So you know sure we will deliver it in 15 months if we have an agreement between us. 15 months to deliver the project, because I have little bad experience in Dubai. Still not build our building. We put our money down. So in Cyprus it's totally different. When you put your money for a development, your contractor, he have a bank guarantee for you, so you know he will deliver it in 15 months your project. So it's totally different story in Europe.
We mean investing in Cyprus, we can live a lifetime without getting any passport?
No. If you are investing in Cyprus, let's say you didn't get the passport with €2 million, you didn't have the amount of €2 million, you have only €1 million. And you start the investment and get the European visa. If you live in Cyprus and you do through to your company investments, when you will reach the 2 million, you get the passport immediately. Or otherwise, if you don't have the amount of 2 million, you don't do any investment, you just live in Cyprus, or your children live in Cyprus and study in Cyprus, which is free. The education, they get in 2,550 days, when they complete, they get the passport for free. So there is plenty of options. Or you take the visa. Let's say not all the families can afford the €2 million. Some families, middle class families, they have only €300,000. Then they are allowed to live in Cyprus and get the passport for free. Like most of the people here, they live 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, but they have just a renewable visa. At least in Cyprus, if you are living there, you get the passport. One good example. Any other question? So, Dr. Umer, we leave Mr. Gonzalez to continue.
Thank you so much, Brother Marius, for enlightening us about the permanent residency program by virtue of real estate investments in Cyprus. I think it's a very good program for those who want to relocate with their businesses. For instance, you're having a very thriving business here in Emirat. You can extend your business by investing into the real estate and taking your business there. So you can move your family and relocate to a newer jurisdiction, to a newer area under a very good tax regime. People like us who live in Emirat, we are very used to the kind of security and the sense of security that prevails there. And Cyprus is all the same. So it is very good for those who want to invest money into a very safe real estate. One thing that needs to be clarified is that there is no donation that you need to make to the government to buy the passport. So you're not buying passport. You're not buying residency. You're not buying any visa. You are investing your funds into the real estate, and definitely that money is going to be appreciated in some amount of time. And it's also our friends from Cyprus, they also offer additional services, additional facilities like managing your property. So you get a regular rent and your property is maintained, while you can still continue with your business here, or you can still, your choice, you want to live here, you want to live there, you want to commute around. In some cases we have seen that the families who have obtained permanent residency, they send their kids, they send their children to Cyprus to enjoy the free education. Imagine four university going children. It's something like 500,000 dirhams here in Emirat annual. So sending them to Cyprus is still a better idea and a cost-effective one. So you're investing into real estate, which is safe, with a group that exists for about 30 years. Then you are expecting some healthy returns, good returns. And for those who want to invest into passport directly, we structure the JV options in uniquely. So they become part of the business. They make good money on it, and eventually they get the passport as well. So thank you so much, Marius, for and Mr. Marius is available for the further interaction. It depends. It certainly depends. Yeah. Three. No, not before 3 years. Thank you so much. Well, now I would like to invite Mr. Giovanni Skozales, CEO of G. Kozales LLC Law Office from Cyprus, to guide us quickly on how the legal system in Cyprus works. So I think most of the questions related to what is the investment climate, what about the tax regime, the laws conducive to the foreign direct investment, and how you can protect, and perhaps inheritance is one good question, that when we invest in the properties in Cyprus and God forbids the main investor passes away, how the inheritance laws work in Cyprus. So let me have the honor to invite Mr. Giovanni Skozales, and he will explain it further. Thank you so much.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Munir, Dr. Umer, thank you very much for giving us this absolutely brilliant opportunity through Aspire World Investments, through your events here at the Chambers of Commerce, so we can elaborate and give some ideas to your good selves, ladies and gents, as what we do in Cyprus. In order to get to the real gist, I would tell you that I'm a son of a developer. I was brought up as a son of a developer, and then having the opportunity to study at the United Kingdom, getting a job in the United Kingdom, which eventually led me to the passport. When I returned back to Cyprus, I would say that it was bread and butter for me to work as a legal advisor for people investing in property matters. We do have offices island-wide in Cyprus. We have G. Kozales LLC, we have 5 offices island-wide, and we have offices, branch offices in Dubai, in Bahrain, in Athens, in Lebanon, and in the United Kingdom. People say that I specialize in property because of my family background, and apparently I'm also a lecturer, an associate lecturer at UCLan University in Cyprus. Cyprus is probably the only European country that we are part of Middle East. Cyprus provides a fantastic tax system. It is also a British tax system, and we are the only country after Brexit, we are going to be under the English legal system. That surely gives an advantage, and for you that you know what Cyprus and about English legal system, you can understand the stability and the security of the way we do things on the island. But I would say that when it comes to Cyprus property investments, first of all, from our experience, we felt and we see and we live that this is the right time to invest in Cyprus. For PR and passports, it's only a complement to your first initial investment. Our job as a legal team is to make this procedure to look easy. It's not easy. We know what we're talking about. We know what to do. And we will provide that security through our team to you. English legal system means due diligence. We make sure that the property you're investing, even if it comes from a very good friend of mine, which is Mario's, which is irrelevant for us, we have to provide a written due diligence to show you that that property is secure. And we do that. We speak your language. Everything in Cyprus is going to be in English or at your preferred language. The spoken language in Cyprus is Greek, but everybody speaks English. And one of the three languages in Cyprus that our government works on is in English. You have to understand that Cyprus, like most of the countries in the world, in 2013 went through a financial crisis. Immediately Cyprus, within 7 quarters, we were out of this financial crisis, which proves a lot. We can see that our neighbors and other European countries, they are still through this financial crisis. Cyprus, which is a very small country, but it has today the fastest growing economy in the European Union. The growth, the business is amazing at this stage, and of course the safety. As Mario's played on his videos, Cyprus is one of the safest destinations all over the world. And at the same time, we heard about people talking about location and investment. Cyprus is in between European Union, Europe, and Asia. Cyprus is the nearest place from here towards the European Union. Mario's talked about the PR, the permanent residency. He also talked about passport. I will give you my own experience. We started these passport procedures a few years ago. And one day I had this lovely Russian client who came and said, Mr. Kouzalis, I want a passport and I don't want to pay money. Okay, I follow the procedures. How can we do that? Then we sat together and we found the perfect way of doing this. Of course, you have to invest. This specific gentleman, when we applied many years ago, 4 years ago, the rules were saying that somebody has to invest 5 million euros. This gentleman invested 4 million on a plot of land. We divided the plot, huge plot, in 20 different plots. We started building 20 villas. He started selling 500,000 per villa. Now he's at the last 3 villas. He sold his last villa, before the 3, 1 million euros. This gentleman invested 5 million euros for his passport. Today he reached more than 8.5. He has a passport, so he has his money back. He has a huge profit, and he has 3 villas to sell if he wants to sell. So definitely it's the right time. Definitely we're talking about the right location, and if you're thinking to diversify your investments, surely Cyprus is the right place to be. The procedures are by the book, A to Z. We get your application, you come to Cyprus, you invest. We have to see you face to face. We do the European know your client investigation. We get to know you. We come to see you. We see you face to face. We get all the information from you. You don't run. We do all the running. What you have to do is to make sure you find the right property, the right investment with Mario's. We do the rest. We secure that that investment, first of all, is safe, and then we secure that we get the information from you. And it's not difficult to get the information. And I'm very proud to say that though there are a lot of restrictions in the European Union or globally, we have people from Syria, we have people from Palestine, we have people from Iraq, we have people from Afghanistan, but they had invested in Cyprus and they have their residency and their passports. We don't do miracles, just with our extensive experience, we get the information, we travel again, as I told you before, we come to you, we gather the information, and we manage what people just dream. We provide that to you. Please feel comfortable. I have a lot of leaflets outside. I didn't know to bring them in, but you can take my leaflets outside, which give you a very good idea of what we do. I can give you my business cards, and I'm at your disposal to answer any questions. And of course, please, Cyprus is not far away. It's very near. You can get on a plane, come to Cyprus, visit us. Mr. Marios and his company, they do provide a lot of services so they can accommodate you through this trip. And when you come in Cyprus, when you see what do we do and how we do it, I'm sure you're going to fall in love with the place, and I'm sure you're going to invest. Thank you very much, and I'm at your disposal for any questions. Any questions? I can see you outside during the break. Not a problem. Thanks again. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Hi, Dr. Mithya.
Thank you very much, Mr. Gonzalez. Well, it is indeed a great honor that our friend, Mr. Hussam Waheed, is here with us tonight. Mr. Hussam Waheed represents International Property Show, and it's a great event. We all know about it. Most of us at least know about it. I would just request Mr. Hussam Waheed to join us here, and
it's a big family, it's a strategic family where we do all these shows known as International Property Show, Annual Investment Meeting, the Dubai Government Excellence Program, Wood Show, and other shows as well. We came into being in 2001 and being the first show in GCC. And the International Property Show is the only platform which provides you to do transactions within the show. And you don't have to take people out to make all those things happen. Just go through this small video. It's called the post-show report.
चार्जर में लगा दी मैंने चार्ज पे लगा दिया
with the information which we need over here. Please change this. Next slide. So let's see the IPS by the numbers. First real estate show in this state, we had 19,129 attendees with 177 exhibitors, 141 participating countries, and then 1,226 units sold. 42% of IPS visitors were investors, 36% of IPS exhibitors were developers, media partners 138, 93% of the exhibitors were satisfied with the quality of visitors, 65% of the exhibitors have guaranteed over 1,000 leads on site. The revenue generated during the event was $1.2 billion. The growth in the participation over the last 3 years. You can see in 2015 we had only 14,687, then in 16, 15,000, in 17 it's 19,000, and we're expecting this number to grow to 25,000 because we have also this last show we introduced future cities, sustainable cities, and we also are thinking new things to bring in the new show in 2018. So this is one of our missions and aim, that always keep bringing new stuff into the market, so keep attracting the exhibitors and the investors and the visitors. Top 12 visiting countries: India, Pakistan, UAE, Egypt, UK, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Philippines, Lebanon, Russia, USA, and China. Why do you exhibit at IPS? Simply to promote, showcase your properties, meet new investors, network with them, and explore the opportunities of investments. Now, this is the new thing which we are introducing in our upcoming show, the mega property sale. Now, how does it work? We are in contact with all those countries who are participating in this show, and we are also taking on board the authorities. So, suppose it's a quick development authority or it's Dubai land, they will be able to provide some kind of discount on their registration fees. If you may know that Dubai land is going to charge 4% on the total investment, that is going to be waived off in our show for only 3 days. So there's something for developers, legal services will be free, banks will come up with mortgages, opportunities, then there's a property auction going at the same time, and then they have a broker's village. Within a show, we have a show which is called Mega Property Sale. Next slide, please. Friendship to base at IPS. So this is one of those things which we focus on. Indian properties at IPS. So all the Indian developers, real estate professionals, brokers will be comprised in this small area, which will be we'll treat this pavilion as an Indian pavilion. Then we have Pakistan pavilion, we have Turkey, we have Europe, and then Egypt. We also have co-located events. How does this co-location of events work for IPS at the same time? So if you see, we have the opportunity to bring in we have annual investment meeting, we have Dubai International Government Achievements Exhibition, Future Cities, DIFA, it's Dubai International Furniture Accessories Component and Semi-Furnished Product Show, Dubai Wood Show. Within Dubai Wood Show, we have Dubai Cairo Wood Show, and then IPS we want to talk about. Just to give you a glimpse what AIM is actually doing
the
at the same
annual
time.
investment meeting at the Dubai World Trade Center puts the United Arab Emirates at the very heart of global prosperity by matching emerging markets with investors. Join with over 15,000 delegates, high-level officials, business leaders, and sovereign wealth funds from over 140 countries for 3 intensive days of networking. Be part of the world's largest foreign direct investment event, the annual investment meeting.
do with the AIM startup, so they both are correlated. We introduced AIM startup last year, where the small companies can have the opportunity to present their products, services to all the local markets and international markets as well. So whoever is interested to buy it, they can actually go through it.
This April 9th to 11th, AIM Startup hosts the second edition of its annual Innovation Showcase and Pitch Competition in Dubai, in conjunction with the world's leading foreign direct investment platform. This year, 200 startups with sustainable solutions will convene under one roof to meet with investors, corporates, government officials, and industry experts, and will be given the opportunity to demo their groundbreaking solutions in support of the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. Promote your sustainable innovation. Register now.
I'll not take much of the time because we already but just wanted to add up on the information that why IPS, AIM Startup, Dubai Government Achievements Exhibition, Future Cities Show, DIFAC and Dubai Wood Show, they are separated with all these shows. All other shows are simultaneously running at the same time. And I don't see a better example of diversification and putting your eggs on all the baskets. So when you have to collaborate, so one show is going to help the other one, not only in terms of exhibitors, but also in terms of visitors. AIM and AIM Startup and IPS together make a huge contribution towards investment. IPS is actually benefiting AIM is benefiting IPS, they both are benefiting the AIM startups. And at the same time, one company, just for take an example, if there's somebody who is there as a investment in terms of getting the passports, and there's another developer, just take an example, Denu or anyone like Azizi. So we locate all those people in a different set of placements that one should benefit the other and they don't compete with each other. So in those 3 days, we take the responsibility of the investments, we take the responsibility of getting the visitors, and we take the responsibility to make it successful for you. Well, that's all for now. If you have any questions, you can just raise it now, or maybe you can just email me. You have all of you have my cards on your table. You can also contact me on my mobile anytime. Skip. Next slide.
Welcome to the International Property Show. Meet over 20,000 reliable buyers from GCC and around the world. Network with investors, brokers, developers, government officials, and high net worth individuals. Discuss residential, commercial, and mixed-use offers. Sign deals and get deeds. International Property Show at Dubai World Trade Center.
Well, last but not least, I would really appreciate the opportunity to provide me and stand here and to deliver the kind of products to Dr. Umair and Dr. Munir. I wish them very good luck with their aspiring investment at a global terms. And thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. That's all.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hassan. Well, now it's the time to invite Mr. Onohe Zlatovi, the co-founder of Malgarite. He's an amazing fellow, a good friend, and he has something really, really amazing to amaze you. So let's welcome Mr. Onohe.
Hello to everybody. My name is Omar Feyzlatove. I am a co-founder of Moldavite Association. We are basically, what we are dealing is exploring human soul. It's a little bit different of what you are used to. This is a different kind of journey. So basically, what we discovered is that some of the stones found on our planet that were created by the big impacts of big meteorites have an amazing energy. They actually influence the human body so deeply that a person transforms. It actually influences the heart. And in this modern times, the human heart is something that very few people in this world know what it is, actually. We are living in a material world, and everything is basically connected with materialism, but in terms of human heart is something that all the knowledge in the universe is hidden. So what happened to me was that I started to wear one of these stones that is basically a transformed meteorite, and I actually felt the energy of the stone. And when I did that, when I felt the energy of the stone, I couldn't believe it. I left all my career and all my life behind and just went to look for the stones. It was something really amazing what happened to me. And well, I want to show you this video from our association, and I want to tell you later about the collections that we have, that you have like really unique opportunity to buy our life's work. So. dreams, what happened was I have a really live dreams after wearing this stone. I dreamed the future, and I always, everything what I dream came to be. So this is the most amazing thing that has happened all the time. And also, I've seen what will happen to this world, and I've seen the consequences of all our actions in the near future, and I've seen the transformation of the planet. And, well, basically what you have today here is a unique opportunity to purchase these collections that we were really working hard to assemble, because the star stones are located as much as 9 meters below the surface, and there is no detector to detect them. So you have to be really persuasive in mining area and geological researches to excavate them and find them. So they are really quite unique. They are almost pure silicon, and you know that we live in silicon era. So today basically all the technology is driven by silicon, everything what we have. When the first artificial 99.9% silicon was produced in 1948 in Silicon Valley, all the magic started happening. So all the frequencies and everything, all the people are starting to think differently. And with this stone, you started to think differently also as well. And the main reason why we are selling these best collections that we have is because we want to rebuild our old farm back home with my brother. And we decided to put this on the stones out for selling. But the main reason for everything what's happening is that for some reason God wants me to be here today. I don't know why, but I'm here. And to tell you all this, what I know, what I experienced. And this is not something that, it's not marketing, it's not, I want to sell you something, you know, for just to make money. But I'm telling you the truth. This is really what's been happening to me. And I had a career before, I had masters, I had everything. And I didn't find enough pleasure inside what I was doing. Because whatever we are doing today, and we are not doing from the heart, it's like doing nothing, you know, because everything what you build or everything what you make, you know, it's just like, it doesn't satisfy, it doesn't give you satisfaction, you know, and then you're always trying to find new things or know something new or build something new, and it's not satisfactory for anyone. You always have to try to start to do things directly from the heart. And if you're doing it like that, the results are just amazing. It's the best results you can get, the highest ones. So I'll be happy to answer all of your questions, and I'll be happy to show you the stones if you are interested in what we have to show. So thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mr. Rahmani. Going towards the end of today's session, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude and thanks to all of you for coming, especially for guests who have flown in from abroad, from Cyprus, from UK. I'm also very honored to have the representation from the Embassy of South Sudan. And before we formally end today's evening, I want to invite Mr. Hussam Wahid from International Property Show again for our signing ceremony and to announce the objectives of collaboration with Aspire World Investments. Let's welcome Mr.
Mic Leo. Hand over. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hussam Wahid, and I hope that this cooperation works for both of the organizations and also for the friends who would like to join IPS in the future. There's no doubt in it that IPS is an event of a great importance in the overall economic, I should say, economic environment of Dubai in particular and UAE in general. So thank you so much for being with us tonight. I also want to express my gratitude to Harisa Salaki. She's an amazing artist, and her paintings are on display outside. You can take a look. And last but not the least, I wish to thank you all for being with us tonight. And let's have some tea. Thank you.
अभी चैम्बर आ रहा है पीछे. The back one.
The back.
Yeah.
आप फ्लैग किधर आ जाना? आप फ्लैग किधर चले गए अंदर? आने क्लोजर. इसके साथ आ जाए राउंड. ठीक है.
मान लेना पड़ेगा.
और इधर
Yes, ready. Last one.
और सब कुछ स्लोगन वोगन दिए वो सब कर दे.
Yeah, the last one.
Strength and honor.
Thank you. Sherry, stop कर. हाँ.